Did you know that Venice is a city surrounded by water and made up of 117 small islands? It's a city of beauty and tradition, such as ringing of the bells in the tower of St. Mark's Cathedral. And listening to music while floating in a gondola. Or being serenaded in one. And so to this beautiful city we came by a speedy water taxi that took us to our first destination, the Paganelli Hotel. Or was it the Pagan Ellie Hotel? In the morning, we came out ready to go. Oops. But had to stop to decide where. Upon deciding, we went to see St. Mark's, the city's most famous cathedral, or some say basilica. This cathedral has been in existence since 832. The upper interior is adorned with bright mosaics containing gold, bronze, and a wide variety of stones. But with the poor lighting, it was hard to see the colors. There was also a museum with a variety of interesting objects. Including this gem-studded Bible. We did a good amount of waiting and researching of where we should go and how to get there. So, I decided to take advantage of the situation and ask our fellow travelers their impressions of Venice.
I think the city is beautiful.
I like the water, so when you like water, Venice is the place to be.
Wet. Aqua Alta.
It takes my breath away.
It's what?
It takes my breath away.
Takes your breath away.
It's so beautiful. The peach and the cream and the reds. I love the colors. It's this whole.
All right.
It's amazing.
I found the Venetian Navy Museum particularly interesting. I like the exhibit of a human torpedo used during World War II. 300mm cannon built in 1828, plus a very early generation computer built by the Galileo Works of Florence in 1935 and used on Italian warships during World War II to determine the exact location of enemy ships. I wonder how accurate it really was. I also like the model of the last gold galley built for the Doge of Venice to commemorate Venice's marriage to the sea. It was destroyed by Napoleon's troops. But one of the most interesting things I saw was the amazing shell collection. In fact, the entire 5th floor was dedicated to these shells. I guess the Italian Navy at some time required their sailors to pick up seashells? Oh, I almost forgot to mention the Doge Palace, where the Doges, who were the chief magistrates of the city, ruled for over 1,000 years. Here we are in the interior courtyard getting our passes. Elaine explaining the things we should see, while David poses for the camera. Here are Nancy and David looking up at the ornate ceiling, since taking pictures or videos inside the Doge's rooms was forbidden. And so our time in Venice was quickly over. So here we are waiting for our water taxi to take us to the train station and on to Florence, which is regarded by many as the art capital of Italy and arguably the last preserved Renaissance city in the world. We arrived at our centrally located hotel, the Pierre, where we quickly freshened up, then met to decide where to go. And David letting me know where I should go. And so, like a herd of turtles, off we went to the Piazza della Fontana, the main square, which had an interesting collection of statues, like Neptune and his water nymphs, or Selene's Perseus, the Greek hero who killed Medusa and triumphantly holds her head high while standing on her body as the blood spills out her neck. And this marble statue, known as Rape of the Sabine Women, which almost looks lifelike as the fingers press into the flesh. But enough of this wandering around. It was time for the museum tours, to see the statues, paintings, beautiful interiors, and more paintings, and more interesting statues. Ouch. It's got to hurt. And of course the churches, the main one being the Basilica Santa Maria, which took 140 years to complete. One of the most interesting things was the Duomo ceiling, which represents the final judgment. So, Roger and I decided to walk up to the top of this dome to get a closer look. It remains the largest brick dome ever constructed. Here's Roger, inside the dome near the top. A close-up of Christ at the center of the dome, and some interesting close-ups of the final judgment around the outer edge of the dome. Boy, if you're going to hell, it sure is going to be brutal. Ouch. You better be good. Enough of this end-of-the-world stuff. Off we drove to Siena, arch-rival of Florence, a city built on 3 hills, surrounded by well-preserved walls, and filled with excellent examples of Gothic architecture. Upon arrival at our hotel, originally home to some of the most notable Siena aristocrats, we immediately found the back garden with its sweeping Tuscany countryside view. So we sat down to drink some wine and have some snacks. What a great setting. The next morning, we were ready to go, particularly Anita, that is ready to go shopping.
We're walking around Siena. We're looking for things to buy.
So,
There are a pair of boots in there I really love.
okay. Is this from boots that you're going to buy for my birthday?
Yes. These are boots I'm going to buy for your birthday.
I'm going to buy you some boots for your birthday.
For me.
And Roger, letting me know Elaine found the perfect boots.
I went in to look at boots, and Elaine fell in love with a pair for 280 euros. Lucky you.
But what Siena is most noted for is the world-famous Palio horse race around the Piazza del Campo, where the horse is more important than the rider, since if the rider falls off, the horse can still win the race. And of course, one must see Siena's main cathedral, Duomo di Siena. It's nearly 800 years old and built in the Tuscan Gothic style with lots of gargoyles. The interior has interesting walls and columns of black and white marble stripes which strike the eye. Turns out, black and white are the colors of the civic coat of arms of Siena. In Siena, you also experience the art of making sure you don't get hit by a car or truck, since not only are the streets narrow, there are no sidewalks. And one last shopping stop, then off to Rome, a city over 2,500 years old, which by the beginning of the 1st century had over 1 million inhabitants. The next video will be about Rome and its remaining ancient monuments, who built them, why they were built, and how they originally looked.